We can't go trying to fight and defend our children when we know we got some bad ass disrespectful children. Sometimes the teachers are disrespectful as well, because I don't tolerate back talk in my own household, and children can be different when they're not around their parents. No teacher should be trying to be cool with the kids. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Talisha Marie, and you're on another episode of Teacup Talks Podcast. Hey, y'all. What's up? How y'all doing? I know I didn't post last week, and let me go ahead and get that out the way and say that. But when it's time for you to take a break, you take a break, okay? We're going to get right into the topic. Today's topic is going to be about teachers versus students versus parents. And I recently had a situation. It's been things. First of all, it's been things that's been going on in these schools with the children want to fight the teachers, be disrespectful, and then you got, on the other hand, the teachers, got to defend themselves or aggressive toward the children, depending on how you look at the situation. And then you got the parents, where we come in at, and we have to decide whether or not our child or children were in the wrong, or was the teacher in the wrong, and how to go about handling the situation, period. So before we get into that, we're going to do a vibe check. My vibe is good. It's actually Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, that I'm recording this video. So woke up in good spirits. I got me a cup of coffee, my Teacup Talks cup. It's lukewarm now, y'all. I might have to heat it up again. But anyway, so I'm feeling good. I'm blessed, and today is an off day for me. So hey, let's get into the topic. Okay, I recently had a situation with my son. First of all, I've always taught both my children to not be disrespectful, to respect your elders, respect everybody, no matter the age, the color. Like, just give genuine respect. Respect goes a long way. And as far as in the schools go, I've taught my children, because when you see stuff happening around the world with school shootings, students and teachers fighting in the classrooms, children being disrespectful, and sometimes the teachers are disrespectful as well. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to be honest, because we as adults have to learn how to control our emotions, when it comes to certain situations, and when you're in a certain professional. But we're going to get all into that. So I've taught my children to, if anything happens at school shooting, I've taught them what to do when it comes to that. Anytime I see something happen on the news with children, teachers, school violence, I reiterate, okay, let's go over this again. This is what you do in this situation. This is what you do in that situation. So as far as when it comes with the teacher, if you have one of those teachers that some kids call mean or whatever, then first of all, just go ahead and do as they say. Don't give no back talk, because I don't tolerate back talk in my own household. So I want them to go out into the world when I'm not around and show that same respect. And hopefully remember what I taught them, because you represent me wherever you go. So, I've always tried to instill that in my children, to, be respectful. Mannerism goes a long way. In a situation when it comes to the teachers in school, you feel like you weren't in the wrong, and your teacher say, hey, you did this, you did that, go to the office or whatever, go ahead and go. If it's a situation where you feel like your teacher is being disrespectful to you, just anything out the ordinary that a teacher should not be doing or saying. I always have my kids a phone. In elementary school, all through school, they've always had a phone, taking a phone to school with them. And I always tell them to not pull it out unless it's an emergency or in appropriate times. So anyway, just go ahead and follow the directions of the teacher unless otherwise. Leave the classroom, call or text me, let me know what's going on type situation, okay? So I recently had a situation with my son. He's 16 and he's in high school, of course, and he had a situation with a teacher at his school. So I got a phone call. I got a text from him. He texted me, was saying, Monty's teacher being disrespectful to me, and I haven't done anything. He was like, I was on my way to class. I was running late. So he did tell me he was running late, and the teacher was being disrespectful to him. So boom. The other little incidents, the situations with the other girl and the teacher, they got the fight in the classroom, and then there was another situation not far along from that had happened. Teachers and students fighting. So that's the first thing go off in my head, like being disrespectful. Okay, before I pop off, what do you mean by disrespectful? He said the teacher was cursing at him, telling him that you scared of me, telling my son that he's afraid of him. This is a grown man, supposed to be a professional, a teacher, an adult, cursing at my child and telling him he's scared of him, and to me intimidating my son, antagonizing my son, like to get my son to do something. My children are mild mannered. Like they don't even talk loud. They don't even raise their voices loud. And I guess they get that from their daddy as far as the tone in their voice and stuff. Like when they get loud, they still not really loud type thing. So I'm like, okay, he cussing at you. Why he cussing at you? Because no matter the situation, especially if you just running late for class, he ain't got no business cussing you out. If anything, you send him to the office. You send him to the office, and then you let the principal handle the situation. So, we just texting back and forth. And I done jumped up out the bed because I had got back in the bed after I dropped him off and whatever. So I'm relaxing, and I sat up on the side of the bed because he literally following me. So my son, I guess, is on his way to class, and the teacher is like literally, I guess, following him, probably trying to see what class he going to. So at this point, I'm like, okay, teachers do that sometimes. Still, not just trying to pop out and be one of those parents that automatically believe everything your child say. For me, I want to get to the bottom of the situation. I want to make sure I'm not looking embarrassed. I want to make sure my child is telling the truth and this, that, and the other. Okay, so he was telling me all the things that he was saying, cuss words, antagonizing, and my son didn't feel comfortable with going to whatever class that this teacher was trying to get him to go to. So I said, my son was at this point, my son, like, if he tried to tell me to go to his class, I ain't going. So once he told me that he wasn't going to go with the teacher, like, because he said he didn't feel comfortable at this point for whatever reason with other students in the classroom, it was a whole other thing. I'm not going to go that far into detail because I really didn't get the full understanding of that at the time. So anyway, he didn't feel comfortable. He said he tried to tell me to go. I'm not going to the office. And so I'm like, oh Lord, let me get up. I'm calling the school at this point. I'm like, okay, if he tried to take you to his classroom, just go straight to the office. Go to the office. I'm on my way. So I'm calling the school because at this point, I'm like, okay, sound like it's semi-serious. So let me go ahead and call the school and let them be aware that a teacher, from what I'm understanding at this point, a teacher is antagonizing my son. He's cursing at him. He's telling him he's scared of him, like trying to make my son, I guess, jump or fight or prove that he not scared of this teacher, right? So I'm like, oh no, we don't do that. Because if anything, I'm like, my son not finna go viral. If anything, I'm gonna go viral. So, like I said, I don't take up for my children because I know how children are, and children can be different when they're not around their parents, right? I'm not gonna uphold for my child or my children if it's a situation where I know that they were wrong, being disrespectful, whatever the case may be. I don't uphold for my children. If they wrong, they wrong. They right, they right. So I'm call the school, let them know what was going on. Like I need somebody to get to my son ASAP because if this teacher put his hands on my child and the way my child is talking, like, look, I'm not doing nothing to this teacher. I'm trying to get to my classroom. And he was, to me, just trying to pump my son up to make my son do something from what I'm hearing. So I finally got somebody on the phone to go ahead and send somebody directly to the classroom that my son was in. So whatever's about to happen, whatever's going to happen, it ain't happening. Because if anybody going viral in this situation, it's going to be me. And I told him, I said, my son not going viral. If I got to go viral, I go viral. But my son not going viral. He can fight me. But when I get to the school, I'm calm. I was still texting my son. He's telling me he didn't even know the teacher's name. But and I tell my son, like, it's all about who you hang with too. You're guilty by association. So if you're hanging with a crowd that's going for bad, you need to switch up your crowd. You need to switch it up. So anyway, but that was after the fact. But I got up to the school because I finally got to talk to the principal. So I'm letting the principal know, like, hey, she talking to me. Okay, we sending somebody to the classroom, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna talk to the teacher, get his point of view, get his version of what happened. We're gonna get your son down here, get his version of what happened. Okay. I said, okay, but I'm still on my way because I wanted that principal, that teacher, and whoever else to know I won't play about my child. I'm not gonna play about my child. You're not gonna be disrespectful to my child, and my child not gonna be disrespectful to you. So let me get up here and see what the hell going on, because if my son texting me telling me something like that, then something is going on. So boom. I told her, I said, okay, we had a full conversation on the phone. I'm still on my way, man. So although I had this full conversation on the phone, I still was on my way to the school. I told her, I said, I'm still on my way to come and talk in person because I needed them to see my face. I needed them to see that I wasn't playing about my child, and I wanted some paperwork, right? Because if he doing stuff like this, then I need some paperwork, because if this incident happened again, I need the paper trail, because the next time it won't be so sweet. This time I'm coming up here to get to the bottom of it. And when it all boiled down, the principal actually said, I believe your son. And in a lot of situations, the teachers or the principal may be like, look, your son be up here cutting up. My son has never had a behavioral issue in school ever. Knock on wood. I ain't got no wood around me. But thank God for that. No behavioral issues. So it was, not so hard for me to believe him when he said what this teacher was doing to him. And nowadays, to be honest, to me, they hire any and everybody now. So the situation got handled. I got the paperwork done because I was like, I need some paperwork done. I need a paper trail, because at this point, I don't know what could go on. They hire these teachers young. They get younger and younger. You could just come in off the street and be a substitute teacher anyway. Might not be a regular teacher, but you can come off the street, be a substitute teacher. And they try to be so cool with these children, try to be the cool teacher instead of actually teaching these children. And I understand you do get some children. First of all, as a parent, you know how your child, if your child is, you have issues with your child being disrespectful, unruly at home, it wouldn't be so hard for me to believe that my son was being the same way at school. But since my son is not a bad child, he's not a bad kid. He's in the house. He don't run the streets. Thank God. So it was hard for me. It wasn't hard for me to believe him when he told me about it. But I still wanted to get to the bottom of it before I go up there cutting up. Like some parents, as soon as a child tell you something, you automatically want to go cut up, cuss the teachers out, and fight and all that stuff. I'm not one of them. I spoke with the principal. I needed a face-to-face to get an understanding and let her know if this situation happens again with this same teacher, I'm going further, especially if it becomes physical. Okay? And the principal, like I said she believed my son when she said about the cursing and stuff, the cussing or whatever. So anyway, so I let him stay at school because I said my son don't need to come to school no days after this day and feel uncomfortable with coming to school, not want to go to school, want to play sick because now this teacher is out to get him. So if my son come telling me anything like that, oh, we gonna have bigger problems. He got uncles want to go to the school and stuff. I'm like, nah, we gonna chill. We gonna see what's up. We gonna see what's going on. If it happen a second time, then it might not be so sweet. But you know me, I get in my professional mode, and I'm a mature adult, so I wasn't gonna go up there cutting up and showing my ass unless it happens again with the same teacher. Then I don't know. But anyway, with that being said, I feel like they handled the situation well. I felt secure in leaving. Like I said, I left him at school the whole day. At first, I was gonna check him out of school. I'm like, no, no reason to check you out. You still got classes to go to. So they made me feel secure, and we got an understanding as far as they talked to that teacher. They took my son's statement and all that. I just wanted the paperwork. That's it. That's all. Just wanted the paperwork. So I just feel like they need to do a deeper screening before hiring teachers. One, I feel like they need to have a steeper punishment for the children that are disrespecting the teachers. Like, ain't no way you should be going to school disrespecting your teacher. Like, you have to get taught. It starts at home. You got to get taught at home. Your parents, your grandmamas, them aunties, them uncles. It takes a village to raise a child. So I understand everybody's situation is different. But no matter the circumstances for me, the struggles I went through or been through, I always reiterated and instilled in my children respect. Disrespect is not tolerated. And you don't let people run you over, or let people put fear in your heart or whatever, but you always be respectful. Respect goes a long way. And so the principal believed that my son, when she said it, and I told her, I don't want no teachers up in here. No teacher should be trying to be cool with the kids. Like, it's okay to laugh and joke with them to kind of make them feel more comfortable in a teaching method. But just to be, what's up, nigga? What's up, bitch? Like, bitches and hoes and nigga this and nigga. Like, no, that's not cool. It's a method to having fun with the children while teaching them and just making them like your homie off the street. So I feel like there should be steeper consequences for these type of situations. I feel like the teachers should go through training, some type of class to help them to know how to deal with those disrespectful students that want to get in their face. They need to come up with some kind of like a plan. Like when they have a plan, when they have an active shooter or a fire drill or whatnot. They need to come up with some type of plan in a situation where there's an unruly, disrespectful child that's trying to get physical with you. They need to come up with some type of plan. Don't wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes arguing with this student. Go ahead. It should be a button you push, or just call the office or whatever, or take your damn self out the classroom. That's what I would do in this situation. But I wasn't in that situation. I understand the heat of the moment. And you probably went in your mommy mode, parent mode, like, oh no, ain't no child gonna disrespect me. But at the same time, you're in a profession where you're gonna deal with all types of attitudes, personalities. So you chose that profession. We all chose our profession. So we got to be able to, as adults, learn how to handle certain situations. And like I said, I feel like there should be some type of class training you go through when you have those type of students. And I feel like students, just like a teacher can go to jail if they're in a classroom and they put their hands on the student. I feel like when a student is aggressive towards the teacher, that student needs to be taken handcuffed to juvenile. Because if you want to act like a criminal, if you want to be disrespectful and unruly, put their ass in handcuffs too. That's what I say. Put their ass in handcuffs. When you get to the bottom of the situation or whatever, you find out the truth or what, put their ass in handcuffs too. Because if my child, one of my children, are doing something they ain't got no business doing, put them in handcuffs. Take them on down. Let them see what it feel like. And guess what? I'm their parent. I'm not siding. You wrong, you wrong. And you need to learn a lesson. So that's how I feel when it comes to teachers and the parents. Parents, we know our children. If you know your children always at home with the attitude, don't come in the house, hanging with the wrong crowd, in gangs, just totally disrespectful to you, to your family, or whatever. Don't go try to, my child innocent. I can't stand to see that. I cannot stand to see when parents know their children bad as hell. Bad as hell. Out in the streets doing everything, robbing, stealing, killing. And you wanna, as soon as your child get put on the news or something, my son innocent, my daughter innocent. Oh, they didn't do this. They was wrong for taking them to jail. Oh, they was wrong for. Nobody deserves to be offed, to be, killed. Not saying that. But as far as making their ass pay for it, making their ass learn some consequences, then yeah, I'm all for that. Do it in the right way, but they need to learn some consequences as well. They need to know that this ain't gonna be tolerated. Because if you bring your child up, making your child think, oh, I can do this, I can do that, and my mama gonna come cut up, my mama gonna let me get away with it. My mama gonna cut up if you say something to me. Get ready for your child to grow up and be one of those disrespectful children that you won't be able to control. It's gonna get out of hand, and it ain't gonna be nothing you're gonna be able to do to turn the tables. Like, so don't be one of them parents that your child do this. You don't want nobody saying nothing to your children, because it's like, for me, an adult is trying to tell my child doing something wrong, being bad, spending out of their house, came in the house late past curfew, cussing, whatever, any situation, and my child is in the wrong. As long as you handling it in the appropriate way, then yeah, say something to my child, because it takes a village to raise a child. So I don't care if you see my child out on the street, whatever. Like I said, as long as it's in an appropriate way, you could talk to my child. Hell, if it's so bad to where at that moment they need a whooping, as long as you ain't beating the hell out of them, taking no bat, no stick, and beat my child, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Call me, let me know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Because we know our children. So we can't go to these schools. We can't go to our neighbors' houses. We can't go trying to fight and defend our children when we know we got some bad ass disrespectful children. So on your end, you need to be at home raising your children, teaching them right from wrong, telling them to respect everybody, no matter the looks, no matter the age, no matter the nothing. Be respectful of everyone. Teach your child, come up with a plan if they're at school or at church or whatever, somebody putting their hands on them in an inappropriate way, talking to them in an inappropriate way. Have those talks with your children at home, so when situations like that happen, your child automatically knows what to do. My son, he knew what to do. He called me, he texted me, he let me know the situation, what was going on. We got it took care of just like that. No news stations, nobody put hands on nobody. Thank God. So, teachers, remember, you are the professional. You are the adult. Come up with your own plan. You know you're a teacher. At some points, if you haven't already encountered a disrespectful child, an unruly child, 9 times out of 10, you may come across it. If these schools don't have any training programs for you, come up with your own system and how you're going to handle a child in an appropriate way when your student is wanting to fight or whatever the case may be, from you taking their phone, from them cheating on the test. Like, have your own, little system in place for how you're going to handle the situation. So you're not in trouble. You keep your job and you can go home and sleep well at night. You know what I'm saying? Students, children, you got to be respectful of the adults. No matter what, it's a lot of times your parents might say something, you don't think that they're right, and you think you're in the right and your parent is in the wrong. Guess what you're supposed to do? In my day, back in the day, when I was a child, you zip them lips. Now, when you get in the other room, and you might say mumble little stuff under your breath when you go to your room or go outside or whatever. You gonna mumble under your breath. At least for me, that's how we was raised. We couldn't even be in the front room. Back in the day, we couldn't be in the front room when the grown folks, we had little get-togethers and parties. We either had to go to the back room. They would call us to the front. We could play in the back room all we want to. We couldn't be in the grown folks' face listening to their conversations. You know what I'm saying? They'll call us to the front when the food ready, or either we outside playing. But we could not be sitting up in the grown folks' face listening to everything that they say. And that's another thing what's wrong. That's why the children and the families are not as close now, because people be gossiping and their children are hearing it, and it just automatically give your child or your children, like, make them feel some type of way toward, other relatives or whatever. So got to cut that out too. Got to cut that out, because that all plays a role in all of this. It takes a village to raise a child. And like I said, children, you feel like a teacher is in the wrong. You feel like it's escalating to the teacher getting up in your face. You might not be the aggressor sometimes in certain situations. I done been in school before. Teacher can be the aggressor and speak to you in a tone or a manner that is not appropriate. Do as I taught my son. Get on the phone, call your mama. Text your mama. Even if you gotta wait till class is over, go to the office, let your principal know, call your parent. Don't always try to be a grown-ass child and take things into your own hands. Call your guardian, your mom, your dad, whomever, to let them know, hey, this happened to me, and let your parent, let that adult that takes care of you come to the school and handle the situation. Okay? And parents, we just got to do better. We know our children, and we know how they really are. So don't play like your child is innocent when stuff go down. Hold them accountable as children. After a certain age, oh, it's cute at one point. Oh, it's cute. He cussing, he this, he that. Oh, it's cute. Then as they grow up, it don't get no better, because it was cute in the beginning. So, kids gonna be kids. We all been there before. We all cuss behind our parents' back. We done did little things behind our parents' back. But once you know what your child is doing, your child running the streets doing bad, going for wrong, hold them accountable. Hold them accountable as young children, and give them consequences when they do wrong in school, at home, wherever. Hold them accountable at a young age. And hopefully, that helps. And don't, allow other adults to help in parenting or raising your child. Like, if another adult see your child doing something wrong, don't get mad at them. Don't get mad because they said something. If it wasn't in an inappropriate way, if they didn't beat on your child, and then they just tell them, no, don't do that, that's wrong, stop that, don't say that, just trying to teach them what's right and what's wrong, don't get mad. Because if your child see you getting mad and want to argue and fight, and that child know that they did something wrong, but they see mommy or daddy come to the rescue and want to fight and turn up, kids will do stuff on purpose too, just to see that. And then as they get older, go to middle school, high school, and the cycle continues, they're going to turn up at school. Because get what? whether they're in the right or wrong, they know mama coming. Mama coming, daddy coming. They gonna call, Mom, oh, I'm on my way. Boom, a situation gone wrong. And it's too much violence that's going on in the world these days, in the schools, in the churches, in the streets, just all around the world, for us to, you know, engage in it. When we can be the ones to be the voice and try to turn it around, you know. So that's my opinion, my thoughts on teachers versus students versus parents. Okay, and it takes a village. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. Okay, if you got this far, go ahead and like the video so I can get a wider audience to see it and I can keep growing on this channel. All right, until next time, live, love, laugh. Peace.